Well, hello everybody. I'm in a massive blizzard and slow traffic getting through the GTA to work today. Going to be a 3-hour one-way adventure. Not cool at all, but that's the GTA. And being an Alberta boy, wow, looking at all the drivers, I mean, I go through it, but it's definitely not the Ontario way, at least not the greater Toronto area, that's for sure. Unbelievable, but I'm living it, so it is. I tagged Senator Ron Wyden and Kyle Biderman. One's of the federal and the other's the state level. Opposites. One's a Democrat and one's a Republican. Kyle Biderman often talks of separation of Texas, which they're bringing forward the equivalent of a referendum according to Texas law. They're bringing that forward here in the coming state elections. People like to change narrative, slam the man, but they're absolutely wrong constitutionally. But I want to make this video clear for all 50 states, so I target the two very largest, California and Texas, and I want to put this in American perspective. We're going to call this united area, we're going to say this separate Texas and California are to be merged, and they're to be called Ukraine, as Ukraine is today, as it has been for 31 years. Now imagine, Americans and Canadians, you're gonna understand, as I gave the provincial example before, but imagine we take that 30 million state of Texas and combined it with the massive California. We combine them together and separate them from the USA, and we call them Ukraine. Call them Ukraine. And everybody's happy because a lot of people are saying, yeah, there's a Cal exit, there's Texit, right? They're totally different narratives, but let's just say we divide them. Russia gets in there, President Putin finances both states, says, hey, we're going to help you get away from USA. We're going to help you, and they get the job done as UNSCP 5 member, as president of Russia. Putin does this. Americans in the state of Texas, the state of California are happy, right? They were looking forward to this. Free from the federal executive, free to be their own people. Except for here's the problem. Putin turns around and says, yeah, you're going to be called Ukraine. And there's no more state constitutions. In fact, it's one federal constitution. Don't worry, you all got to design it, but here's the thing. There's no division of powers. Those old division of powers you had as separate states are gone. Gone. Now there's just one federal encompassing system, and we're going with the most populous place to place the central government. It's going to be Los Angeles. Biggest population. That's where the central government's going to go. Everything every other region had is gone, including all of California, all of Texas. Now it's up to the municipalities, and those that are the biggest have the most say, and the most say in tax revenue, and get to administer tax law. Sorry if you're a rural Californian or a rural Texan or any smaller municipality. Maybe some of you had some powers before, but listen, you don't have the population. You're ousted. You're gone. Texans and Californians would be at each other and at their own throats. They would lose it. Imagine Hollywood, California, outside of Los Angeles, making all the decisions, in LA going, yep, that's correct. That's what we have to do. Sorry, Texas, we're shutting down your oil field. Oh, sorry, we're shutting down the oil field in California. We're shutting down the pipelines. No more green fuels, no more nothing. No more massive natural gas from Canada. It's over. Figure it out, people. Sorry. We're going to go with our own narrative now. The central government will decide. Texas would lose it. It wouldn't be what the people wanted. It wouldn't be anything near what they thought. They'd say, whoa, whoa, whoa. We never wanted to get rid of the division of powers. We didn't want to lose everything and give it all to Hollywood, California, Los Angeles, i.e. We didn't want that. We didn't want that system. Nobody wants to be ruled by LA. They don't fit any of us. This isn't what we wanted. But there's nothing you can do. USA tries to get involved. They try to bolster the Texas military. All of a sudden, Russia gets the entire NATO organization say, oh no, Unitary's the way to go. Fuck rural ideas. Fuck the idea of division of powers. It's one size fits all. Fuck the Senate. There won't be one. Sorry, that doesn't work in our unitary system. Now, this works great for the entire world. It will work well. Just trust California. If you guys need a job, get used to living in cities like Los Angeles. Living in densely populated areas. Forget all of your values, your culture. And besides, LA's going to take it from you anyway. Anytime they need massive state-sponsored farming, they'll build it in those areas. They'll take it from you. They'll throw ranchers off. They'll eliminate small businesses. They'll have one corporate size structure that fits major municipalities. If people want that, they'll come into the cities to get it. Meaning they'll move, they'll live there, they'll get used to it. That is Ukraine today, ladies and gentlemen. Corrupted beyond all measure. Unitary. An absolute gross violation of not just Russia, but the entirety of the United States of America. Both the Russian Federation's Constitution and the United States of American Constitution are at odds with Ukraine. There are two obelisks in Ukraine that did not want independence that way. Sure, they wanted to get out of the Soviet Union, but they didn't want to become unitary. They didn't want to lose their division of powers. They didn't want to lose their say and have a central government take everything from them. That's what's happened to two obelisks. That was what was Crimea. That is why 11 million people left Ukraine to go to Russia. And you can look at all the fighting. You can pick Georgia and all the rest of them who got independence from George H. Bush and what followed. Ladies and gentlemen, the story is a complete lie. Americans have no idea the wool that Joe Biden and his Democrats are trying to pull over their eyes. It's an end of what we've all known here in North America. It's coming. It's coming, and they would. The end of the filibuster, removing a check and balance for the small rural community. That's what the Senate's for. That's why it's only 2 state senators, ladies and gentlemen. So no matter how big your state gets, how big the cities grow, you always have the voice of reason of the states in absolute representation of rural and city alike, no matter the size and scale. Because let's face it, big cities turn into their own animals. And I can tell you, in absolute world history, if you haven't read my multitude of papers, this latest completes it, completes all my work. Now I go forward in the coming weeks to finish off the First Peoples, and I work towards getting my American citizenship, where I'll spend, if it takes the rest of my days, not only trying to build the PCC from the outside looking in, but I will also be trying to save the American institution and the Russian institution. Because whether you like it or not, and whether USA and Russia want to fight at each other's throats over the federalist side of politics and democracy versus autocracy. You've all forgotten what made your countries powerful and strong. It's the regions, those 84, the republics attached in their full autonomy, self-determination, and self-government under the division of powers. It's never been highlighted. Same with the 50 states in the United States of America, who all have separate constitutions, some even older than the United States Constitution itself, led to the design of the Constitution of the United States. This is what most of the world's missing. It's what governments are not articulating. I can promise you, the federal governments of Canada, all the parties would love nothing better than to have unitary power in crown customary law over all of you, the savages and slaves. And I'm sorry to say that. I didn't create that terminology. Welcome to crown customary law, the legal speak of those who govern you, where your constitution sees that none of you are represented, none whatsoever. And businesses from the second class, those merchants as they're defined in crown customary law, you either fit in to the first class or you F off, as we see with the truckers and the mandates, the small business closures and everything else. It's all easily rolled out when you look at things as they really are, by taking a post on the world stage, just being an average, everyday Joe Jane from the third class, and going out into the world on those stages, going beyond what anyone else of my class is ever supposed to do, all from forming a party. This is a monumental work, and I thank God each and every day, the Creator, that I got it done. But is it too late? Can we move the mountain? There's so many institutionalized Canadians and First Peoples who constantly fall flat on their face. The great division of America, as the 50 states who don't know no better either are going to fall flat on their face as well, as we watch a federal government executive lining up the unitary system for America. It's scary, folks. It's scary. And I don't know. Is Russia not able to articulate this? We're going to know by February, and we're going to know if my birthday is going to be all it's supposed to be, or is it going to be another kick in the face? I don't know. I have hope. I have faith. All I can do is try. We'll see if Norway delivers tomorrow. We'll see. If not, it's down to Russia. And do they have too much pride? Does America have too much pride? Or do they both secretly want a unitary system of government and are thinking, hell, maybe the crown is the way to go? It's a great way to enslave a people. It's a great way to make savages of a First Peoples, which the world would like to call indigenous, minimizing them further. All we can do is keep going, keep trying. I'm going to spend these coming weeks now focusing hard on all the children's genocide for the First Peoples. That's my promise to Tina and so many others. I'm going to teach those chiefs who have reported children's genocide. I'm going to teach them how to report to the UNSC where that goes, to keep it alive, to try and win absolutely time and see this continue on until they do get the numbers. Thanks, that's my video. Share. Have a great evening, everybody.